And good morning at 7:04 on this Friday, August 1st. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome here on a Friday morning. There's the threat of rain. If you've looked outside, it's cloudy and overcast, and I guess we're sort of waiting for a few raindrops to fall. But we're going to have Senator Mark Pody as my guest this morning. But before we do that, we'll talk about Wilson Bank and Trust as we do at this time each Friday morning. And normally they have a representative here to tell us the latest and keep us informed as what's going on. And so far, we don't have that person. But Susie James is with us, and between the two of us, I think we can do a satisfactory commercial here for Wilson Bank this morning. Good morning, Susie.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being here, that we could encourage you to sit down and help me talk about Wilson Bank and Trust. They have been an advertiser for a long time in this slot right here on Friday mornings.
They have. But even more than that, Coleman, you and I both remember when it started, when the bank started, in the little house on West Main Street.
I sure do.
That's where you went in and
for the opening
bought a little
ceremony.
stock. Yes. But fast forward just a little bit to that was late 80s, but
1987.
About 1990, I was selling real estate, but I had applied with the FCC for the license for a new radio station that was coming to Lebanon. That's a long story, but I had to have a commitment letter from a bank. And I went to the bank that I used, not a locally owned bank, a corporate bank, and they turned me down.
Oh.
So I went down the street to Wilson Bank, and they said they would be glad to give me a commitment letter. And lots of years later, we went on the air, but if they had not agreed to that, I could not have gone on with the license and filing for it. So I have always appreciated the local hometown board and the people that organized that bank. And I'm not saying we wouldn't be here today, but I don't know how I would have done it.
Well, I don't remember hearing that story, that
That's
part
right.
of your story before. That's good, and glad. Well, that has something to do with a local bank and knowing people in the local town and this sort of thing, where you are a name and not just a number.
Well, I had banked with them, but and I had family members, as you know, in the radio business, but they could not give me, legally, they could not give me any money because I had to have full ownership. And so if somebody gave me some money, it would seem that they would have part of the ownership. So that's why they had to prove it was just me. And I appreciate it.
Well, Wilson Bank has had a humble beginning, really, in that old house there on West Main. But it wasn't long till they had their own building going, and look what they have now.
They're everywhere. I can't tell you how many branches. You probably have it in your notes.
30 or more.
I would have thought 30.
And they've done, I think, a wonderful thing up in Cookeville at Tennessee Tech, in the Tech neighborhood, to take over an existing bank that was there that apparently decided to kind of close up shop, and so they have taken that over, and just in time for the students who are arriving for fall, especially if they're freshmen, to do their banking right there close to campus. So
brilliant move. And then they're in the schools too. And I know my little grandson, who's just starting the second grade this morning, has a little account through school. So that's kind of a neat.
So I don't know who came up with that idea, but that's got to be a great idea, because you're starting these youngsters out, teaching them a little bit about money, having their own account, and having somebody to come to their school every so often, and on banking day or whatever they call it. So
that's right. Well, with that many locations and every service available, there's nothing they can't do. So find one.
Last year, I guess it was, they hit the $5 billion mark in assets.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing.
It's been a phenomenal success. But we always remind you it is Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. They're still here, still independent, still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987.
And we do appreciate their sponsorships. I didn't mean to overshadow that.
We certainly do, and I'm sure a representative will be here next Friday. Susie, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we're about 9 minutes after 7 o'clock, and it's time for our Friday Senate report, and here he is, Senator Mark Pody.
Good morning, Coleman. What a great day.
It is going to be a fantastic Friday, and it's made our day better by you being here this morning.
And Coleman, it's going to be a little bit cooler today. 1st of August, and we won't be in the 90s today, so this is exciting, and first day of school, so we want to be careful for the traffic and watch out for school zones kind of going through. Sometimes we forget that with the summer that we got to slow down through those school zones.
Well, that's right. If you get out this morning, though, you're going to be reminded fairly quickly because the school buses are running. I saw one or two this morning in my little short distance from home to here.
Yes. And I got to guess, before I go into the guest, though, there's one pretty big announcement I want to touch base on. And this made the news and such. And there's going to be a tunnel that's going to go from downtown Nashville, and it's going to go to the airport. And it's going to be underground, and this is going to then go from downtown, it'll go to the convention center, it's going to hit a couple of other places, and this will literally be in a spot where traffic, and we all coming in on 40, it is horrible traffic coming in, and especially by the airport, this is going to be a great way to alleviate a lot of that traffic. And it's all done with private money. There's no taxpayer money going involved in this. Now, I don't have all the details, and I want to make sure before I say, boy, it's an absolute terrific project and such, I want to see all the details on it. But from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, I've talked with the administration, I've talked to the governor's office, I've talked to transportation and such. From everything I'm hearing, this is going to be a great project for Middle Tennessee.
All right, we'll stay tuned.
Yes, yes.
But it is something different.
Yes.
Totally different.
Totally different. You know, they've done it before in other cities and such, but this will be the first time, and it's actually done by Elon Musk in his company, the Boring Company, and I got appointments to actually be meeting with them as well. But for them to say, we're going to have a system to move traffic in Tennessee without costing taxpayer money, and it's going to move a lot of traffic. I think we will see a significant difference in the roads downtown coming in on 40 from the airport on. It's also going to do this. The time frame that they're doing is incredible. If we do something at TDOT and we want to build a road, you know, we can be talking 10, 12, 15 years. They're going to get this done much, much quicker. The first one's going to be only a few years to have it up and going. So this will be a very quick turnaround, and we should see a significant impact on traffic.
All right. What's next?
So now I got a guest here with me, Coleman. So I'm going to tell you, we got a great treasurer, and there's 3 constitutional officers in Tennessee. And by constitutional officer, it means that the Tennessee General Assembly elect them. One of them is the Secretary of State's office. The other one is the Comptroller's office. And then we got the Treasurer's office. The Treasurer's office, and I'm going to let Shelley explain what they do and so forth, but we're honored to have somebody from the Treasurer's office here. So, Shelley, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Shelley King. I work for the Tennessee Treasury. Appreciate the introduction and an opportunity to get to be with you today.
Hi. And Shelley, and I got to tell you, so anybody that's listening, and I know my wife's listening, I'm saying, we're first time for me to be here live Facebook. So this is awesome.
Exciting. This is exciting.
But can you tell us what you do at the Treasury?
You know, at its most simple, the Treasury is the state's bank. So we don't collect the taxes, but we take them, we invest them on behalf of our state and, you know, add additional earnings to those taxes so that we help our state money grow further. We also handle several programs. We handle the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System that many people in this area probably depend on, their retirement check. We, of course, with that, we also handle the Deferred Compensation Program. We have our Tennessee Stars College Savings Program and the Unclaimed Property Program that I think we're going to talk a little bit more about.
Yes. So what is actually the unclaimed property? Can you walk us through what that might be?
I can. It's a consumer protection program of the Tennessee Department of Treasury. So businesses have, even like Wilson County Bank, might have a account that no one's really used in a few years and it's gone dormant. That's kind of a state law of what dormancy means. But after a while, those businesses would turn the money over to the state. That program, the Tennessee Department of Treasury Unclaimed Property Division, works to get it back to who it actually belongs to. So when the business turns it over, they say, this is Senator Pody's, for example, and we would work to get it back to you in several different ways.
Okay. So, Coleman, I got to tell you, I'm the executor of different estates, okay? And one of the estates that we had, we applied to just check to see, hey, is there any money in this estate? And there was, and it was so easy to walk through to fill out and get the form. But, Shelley, how do you do it? How do you check to see if there's any unclaimed property that you have?
Well, one thing I do want to make sure that we say, unclaimed property program is not land. I get that a lot. People are like, oh, I don't have any missing land. No, this is something that belongs to you, and most likely it is money, those intangible assets like a lost paycheck, stock, for example, anything like that. So checking is very easy. You simply go to claimittn.gov. That is part of the Tennessee Department of Treasury website. And from there, you can search your name. You can search your mom and dad's name. You can search your neighbor's name. And if you find money, it's very simple. Click that little claim button, fill out the paperwork, and quite a few claims are actually returned in as little as 2 weeks.
Okay. So how has it affected Wilson County? How much money?
I don't have Wilson County specifically because we just closed out a latest fiscal year, and I'm actually going to make a very exciting announcement for the very first time anywhere in the state right here. So our previous amounts that we have returned, somewhere in the $60 million ranges. In FY25, we returned $125 million. So twice our previous high. And that resulted in 168,000 claims going back to Tennesseans. So very exciting. I will have Wilson County numbers pretty soon. We're just closing out those books. But $125 million is a phenomenal amount of money for us to return in a year.
Yes. So how much money is in that fund that you don't know who the owners are?
Well, so there's really not like a fund because the money does go into the state's budget, but we estimate there's well over $1 billion still waiting to be claimed.
$1 billion.
$1 billion statewide, and quite a bit. I think there's probably in several millions here in Wilson County to claim.
That's amazing.
Coleman, it is.
Can we search your name today? Have we checked you? Yeah.
Maybe I ought to do that. But
next break we'll
I
check.
would be the most surprised person in the world. We need to take a break right here, and we'll continue. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
All right, let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford, and that regular oil change, $39.95, up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal. 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Trying to move a couple of accidents out here as it gets heavier. 65 south at Trinity Lane, right on schedule this time of the morning in southern Williamson County with that volume coming up from Murray County into Williamson on 65 going northbound up through Spring Hill. Trying to load up now, leaving Murfreesboro on 24 westbound as that traffic builds up through the Antioch area. Princess Hot Chicken has new items on the menu. Check them all out this weekend when you order online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We're going hog wild back in memories. Win a trip to Granville and feel like you're in hog heaven. We're giving away a boys and girls bicycle and $500 if you guess how many piggies went to the Wilson County, Tennessee State Fair. Pig out with a free moon pie in our air-conditioned hospitality cabin, or you can just rock on the porch. Remember, Boss Hog says, don't make a move without us. Oink, oink.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentoller at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D team 443-3130.
Cedar City RV, your destination for all things camping. Whether you're looking for travel trailers, fifth wheels, or anything in between, Cedar City RV has you covered. We proudly offer top brands like Forest River, Palomino, Rockwood, Coachman, and more. Plus, expert service after the sale to keep you on the road with confidence. Financing is available, making it easier than ever to start your next adventure. Visit us online at cedarcityrv.com or stop by our location at 1102 Sparta Pike in Lebanon to explore new and previously enjoyed models today.
And we continue here for Friday morning. Senator Mark Pody is with us, and along with him we have Shelley King from the Department of State Treasurer, and a lot of things going on this morning.
Yes. All right. But Shelley, I do have a question, because sometimes I get mail or a solicitation saying, hey, you got unclaimed property here, whatever. Are any of those valid?
I can't really speak to, sometimes there are people out there who are finders. They'll help you find your unclaimed property for a fee. However, if you're working with the Tennessee Department of Treasury, there is never a fee to claim your unclaimed property. And if you get a letter from the Tennessee Department of Treasury, it is legitimate. So if you're not sure, like if you get a letter in the mail and you're not sure, simply go to claimittn.gov and just search your name right there. That's our website. It's a safe and secure site. And it's an excellent way to make sure you're not getting scammed.
Okay. All right. And anything else that you want to share about unclaimed property before?
Well, I do. I was going to add a second fun announcement. And so we go to outreach events. A couple of years ago, we were at the Wilson County Fair. We try to go different places in the state. And in September, we are going to host, be part of the largest outreach event we've ever done. We are going to be at the University of Tennessee game on September 6th against East Tennessee State University. So as the Vols take on the Buccaneers, right before that, you can come by Vol Village and we'll help you search your name or help answer questions you might have on unclaimed property. So 2 huge announcements this morning.
Fantastic. Well, over $100 million being returned in a year. That's incredible.
It's an amazing amount. So that's a huge boost to the economy, we know, and we're very proud to do our part to do it.
And then, Coleman, the other thing I wanted to talk about with the Treasury is this. We have so many people that are retired from the state that live here because we're close to Davidson County, and teachers and such. And there's some states that their retirement programs are actually in trouble, and they're not doing well. And so can you share with us how we are in Tennessee? What is our TCRS?
Well, I think everybody, whether you're in the state pension plan or not, you can take comfort in knowing that we have one of the best funded public pension plans in the nation, usually ranked somewhere in the top 3 when you look at all the states. And so last year we paid over $3 billion in retirement benefits across the state. And it's anything from a teacher to your local governments to your state employees. So there are probably about 170,000 retirees drawing a paycheck, and they live in every single Tennessee county. So we take it very serious. The Tennessee General Assembly and every governor since 1972 has fully funded their retirement plan. That is how a lot of states get in trouble. They're like, we're not really going to pay attention to what the actuary says. We do. So not only do we pay what we're supposed to pay, we also invest it conservatively, but we help grow the pension fund through our investments.
Okay. So what credit do you give the governors and the legislature in getting us in the shape we're in and keeping us there? Because this goes back through several administrations, Republican and Democrat.
The Tennessee General Assembly, TCRS was actually formed in 1972. So since 1972, every single General Assembly and governor have budgeted appropriately to fully fund what the actuary determines should be the amount.
So that's really the secret right there, the overall well-being of the whole thing.
I think there's a few. There's a few things. Definitely fully funding. That is probably the number one thing. Right. Our investments are very sound. We have earned every single dollar that we pay in retirement benefits. 70% of it was actually earned through investment. So that helps keep that payment to the TCRS much lower, keeps the taxpayer money in good hands. And so we help grow it through investments. And we're very conservative in how we manage it. The entire Treasury Department probably has some role, whether it's accounting or investments or communications. We all work to make sure that we have a very strong public pension plan.
And you're very happy with the way that's being done, aren't you?
Our treasurer is David Lillard, and I've actually gotten to meet with him at quite a few different times. And one time I was talking to him and say, hey, what about this kind of investment or that kind of investment? And he is very, very knowledgeable of what's going on. And he's very conscientious of how our pension programs are run against what the rest of the countries are. And he makes sure, I'm going to just give my shout out to him. I think he does a great job in making sure we are conservative, that we are not in a risky form at all. This is state money. This is our retiree money. And he wants to make sure our promises are kept, and he does it through solid, safe investments. He's not looking to have great returns. He's looking to have a fair return based on a very stable, safe projection for us. And I'm happy with that.
That's got to be a good feeling, too, for all the recipients.
I think it is for all the recipients. And I know Treasurer Lillard will tell several stories, but, he gets a chance to go out and meet in the public as well. And, retired teacher came up to him and said, "How is my pension?" He takes that very serious. He's very proud to be able to tell her it is in very strong hands. But he'll also come back and he feels the weight of that. He knows that there are retirees across our state that really depend on that, and we are going to make sure that it remains safe.
Yes. And Coleman, I know that we're starting to wind down a little bit, but from here, Cheryl, we're going to actually go to our town hall meeting, which we have on the first Friday of every month. I know this is the first day of school or whatever, but we've done this now for over 15 years. First Friday of every month, we have a town hall meeting, and she's going to be there to help anybody with either unclaimed property or ask any questions about what our retirement funds look like and such. So, if people want to actually sit down and meet with her, we'll be at the chamber later on this morning, 8 o'clock, and she'll be there from like 8 to 8:30 just to answer questions and help people out that way.
Anytime he's going to get all he can from your visit.
And I am glad to be here. I'm excited to be in Wilson County this morning.
What else would you like to mention, especially regarding our treasurer or the state money?
Well, when we say that there's 3 constitutional officers, and it is up to the General Assembly to elect them, and they're very powerful people within the state of Tennessee to make sure, like the comptroller, he's saying, I'm the money cop. I'm the one that goes and audits all the governments and things like this. Secretary of State Trey Hargett, he does a great job if there's businesses being formed, whatever. And he's told me when he took over, he said, Mark, we're going to be a can-do office. And whatever issues we've had, we've always been able to go to Secretary of State Trey Hargett and say, hey, can you help us with this or help us with that? He's been very, very helpful in doing that. But when it comes to the treasurer, he's the guy that actually is watching out for our retirees. He is the guy that says, we're going to make sure if there's investments coming in that people can count on it. And I'm going to Boston later on this next week, and there'll be thousands of state legislators there from across the country. And we're going to be one of the absolute best run retirement programs in the nation. We're going to be one of the absolute best in our debt in the country, or as far as our state's concerned. We're going to be one of the lowest tax states. And so we'll be having a lot of conversations. Why is Tennessee so good compared to the rest of the states? And it's like our treasurer does a great job doing that.
Okay, we've got, we're down to about 3.5 minutes. What else is on your mind, or even our guest here, Shelley King? Is there anything else in particular you want to mention?
So, Shelley, anything else that you want to share first?
Yeah, I do. We were talking earlier about getting letters, and we do send hundreds of thousands of letters every year. Every year, businesses turn over more unclaimed property, and that's the first thing we do is send out letters. So if you get one, again, you can go to claimantn.gov and make sure that the money is there and it's correct. We also do what we call a Social Security match through Workforce and Labor. So if you didn't answer that first letter, we may send you a letter through your employer saying you have unclaimed property. So those are 2 ways that you would know there are legitimate letters from the Department of Treasury.
All right, so I'm going to run through. So if somebody had like a bank account they couldn't find, or they moved and they didn't realize it was there, whatever, how long before the bank turns it over?
The state says 2 years of dormancy, I believe. And then, so they can go in and they, would take it in. The other thing is you have a safe deposit box. That happens a lot. And the bank has, after a certain point in time, they can drill the box and, have the content. If they find a military decoration or a military medal, our Tennessee General Assembly has protected those. So they will turn those over to the department. So we really work hard to make sure that those get back to the families or the individuals who earn those medals.
And also, if somebody left their job and they had one more check that they didn't collect, that's turned over.
That's a big part of what we find in unclaimed property.
All right. And then insurance claims. If there's a claim that wasn't done, the insurance company is going to say, hey, we can't find the beneficiary. We can't find who's supposed to get it. That goes in.
That does. We do have quite a few in insurance benefits as well.
Okay. So anything that an employer or an institution has and they don't know how to get it to the person that deserves it, it's their money, they turn it to you.
Yep.
And then you are actually trying to help reconnect the people
Help
with that money.
reconnect it. That's what we do.
Okay. And there's no charge.
There is no charge if you're working with the Tennessee Department of Treasury.
All right. And Coleman, they're welcome to call my office at the Capitol, or they're welcome to go right along, which is much faster, just to check with the Treasury Department. Can you give us that website again?
ClaimItTN.gov.
Okay. And we're going now, next we're going to be going to the town hall meeting, which would be at the chamber. And it's going to be right in Lebanon. And we're going to be there to help answer questions as well. And we're going to redo a lot of things that we've done right here.
Yep.
I do want to say that, we're past the middle of summer, but we're getting ready for bills that might be filed for next year. So people are bringing ideas and such to us. I think next year is going to be a very fast year. Everybody's going to be up for re-election, and so the governor's going to be up and such. So I think it's going to be a quick year next year. I don't think that they'll be in session long.
Okay, and your 30 minutes at the chamber starts at 8?
8 o'clock.
8
Now,
o'clock.
I'll be there longer, okay, but I've got the Treasurer's Department's going to be there, Sherry's going to be there, Shelley's going to be there for the first 30 minutes,
right.
And then we'll have some presentations such we'll do after that, and then there'll be kind of an open time if people have individual questions or whatever. I'll be there to answer them.
But especially if you want to see Shelley King, get her between 8 and 8:30. You are,
and I might be able to stay a little longer with you if you need to. Yeah.
But you're a busy person, no doubt. But thanks for taking time to be with us.
Glad
today.
to be here.
Senator Pody's hard to say no to, though.
I wouldn't say that, but I was definitely going to be here today.
And I'm going to wave to people on Facebook.
Okay. Well, that is part one of Coleman & Company. We hope you'll keep it right here for more. FM 98.9.
All right, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford. Get a regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5 quarts of oil. Tax and disposal, $17.80 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. A steady flow of traffic right now coming through Hermitage, Donaldson, as that traffic builds in from Wilson County here in the last few minutes on 40 going westbound there at the Wilson County, Davidson County line as it gets heavier. 65 south down through Trinity Lane area. It's also picked up out here on 24 leaving Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, coming past 840. Hey, when you need dependable towing for your car, big truck, no matter what county you're in here in Middle Tennessee, call STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Everyday Fiestas offers party rentals on everything you need for your special event. Birthdays, weddings, corporate events, they have you covered. Tables, chairs, tents, linens, dance floor, and so much more. Visit their new showroom in Lebanon at 713 East Main Street in the old Ferguson's building. Find them every day at fiestas.com or on Facebook. Everyday Fiestas offers party rentals that can transform your vision into a beautiful reality. Mention this ad to receive 10% off.
We'll have partly sunny skies today with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs will be cooler, only in the middle 80s. Partly cloudy for tonight, lows in the mid 60s, and then mostly sunny for Saturday. Just a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the mid 80s. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your severe view forecast, I'm Drew Richards.
Coleman & Company, welcome to part 2 here on a Friday morning. We're glad to have you with us. And we're ready to get started for the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty. Our 2 regulars are with us this morning, Miss Judy, Miss Medina, and a good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Coleman.
All right. We want to remind everybody, of course, your location is 1330 West Main in Lebanon. That's where you'll find these great people offering great service, people you can trust. And Miss Judy, what's up?
Well, guess what time of the year it is, Coleman?
It's almost fair time.
That's right. And everybody's getting ready. We've been, we're planting flowers tomorrow at the cabin, and we've been puffing up everything and washing the windows and pressure washing and doing all the stuff we got to do.
Mike doing all that?
No, it's a group effort.
It's a family affair. What do you mean?
Yeah, we just made a party out of it. Tomorrow we're having a work day, so everybody's coming out and helping us. So all the family's coming out, and of course, we've got to feed them. You know that. They'll come for food. But they're all coming out to help us get it all ready.
It's a great service that you offer, but really it's a great opportunity for you. You don't even talk business during the fair unless somebody wants to.
That's right.
And that's worked really well too. But you make so many friends.
That's right. It's kind of like, so a lot of times we only see some of those people once a year, and they always come by the cabin. And what you do is you go get any fair food you want to get over the fairgrounds and bring it into the cabin, and it's air conditioned. We've got tables and chairs and tablecloths and little decorations, and you sit down and you eat your fair food and in the air conditioning, cool off and rest a while. And then when you leave, we'll give you a moon pie, and then you can go on your way. And we don't bother you with real estate. People don't come to the fair to buy a house usually, but we have sold some houses and got some great leads at the fair. So we just tell them to make an appointment with us, but unless they talk to us, we're not going to come over there and start bugging you when you come in to eat. Now, we don't have any food in there. We had somebody sit down, I think it was year before last, and they sat there, and I walked by, and he said, "I'm just really upset. I've been here 15 minutes, and nobody's took my order." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, we're not serving food here. You got to bring your own food." So it's you bring your own food, and we just give you a place to sit down and rest. We got rocking chairs on the porch, and a lot of people come and sit and rock a while and see their friends, and then they'll get up and leave and come back again. So we're there every night as soon as the gates open, and we welcome you just to come and visit. If you want to just sit and rock, that's fine.
Well, it's just a great service that you offer, and it's sort of the Cox's cabin is sort of a happening of its own at the fair.
It's supposed to be a hospitality cabin, and that's what we want it to be for people, a resting place. Sometimes we have people that'll just say, "Can my mom sit down a while? She's really tired, and we're going to walk around and we'll come back and get her." And we say, "Sure." So people sit there and visit, and for the elderly, it's a really cooling off spot for them. And sometimes women come in with the little children, little babies that's gotten too hot. They'll come in and cool off. So it's just a great place to come. And then this year we're giving away, again, a boys and girls bicycle. You can register for that. And we're giving away an overnight trip to Granville to the bed and breakfast. And I think Randall's including some opera tickets for that. And so we want you to come and register for all that. And then also we're guessing this year how many piggies went to the fair. So we have these little piggies. I'm going to bring you one next week. And they have little bitty sunglasses on, and you squeeze them and they make a little noise. So, and you're going to who guesses the closest to how many piggies are in the jar, they win $500 cash. So we have a good time doing things like that. So we just want you to come out and enjoy.
Well, this is an unusual one. You've done a number of different unique things, but this is a unique one as well.
Well, every year one year it was corn, one year it was honeybee. We've had to come up with different things. This year it's going hog wild at the fair and bacon memories. So we thought, okay, we got to do something with pigs. So we got little pink pigs with sunglasses on. They look like the broker pigs is what they look like.
Now, one person knows the number?
One person knows the number. That's not me.
Oh.
It's not me either. We don't want to know. People try to bribe us all the time.
They do.
They say, we'll split the money with you if you'll tell us. So, no, we don't know the answer until after the fair, and then we go through all the guesses, and then the one that got the closest, and if somebody, both people get it, we usually split the money with them. So, anyway.
Medina's turn.
Yes, I'm going to let her talk now. I want you to come out to the fair and see us, though.
Well, before the fair starts, we still do business. Of course, we do business during the fair as well.
That's right. You work today and play in the afternoon.
Exactly.
That's right.
And sometimes you rest in the cabin while everybody comes in and enjoy the air conditioning while you've worked all day. But we are having open house this Sunday from 2 to 4 at 412 Wynwood Drive. And that is right in the heart of Lebanon. It's what we call right behind Dollar Tree, off of West Main. So come by there and see us. It is a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath, and almost 2,000 square feet. It's 19 and some odd, right up before 2,000 square feet. And it is a 1-level brick home, 1-owner home, and it is no HOA. And everything that has been remodeled or touched in there has been by a licensed contractor. So that's a big thing for some buyers, because they always want to know, well, did you get a permit for that, or who did that? Is it a DIY type of project or not? But this has always been a licensed contractor. It also has an attached carport with an attached workshop on the other side of it. So it's all there's no carpet in the house. Maybe the bedrooms, but other than that, it's all hardwood or LVP, one or the other. And it has a sunroom on it, and it also has a Florida room that they've enclosed in that. But it has a kitchen, a huge laundry room, an off room that could be another flex room or another bedroom. But it's one level. It's right in the heart of Lebanon. If you're looking for a ranch home, this is the perfect ranch home because it's been well maintained. One owner home, like I said, and it has a pretty good sized backyard. So you want to give us a call on that one and come by and see us Sunday from 2 to 4. We're going to have a blow up in the front yard, so you can't miss it. The blow up will be dancing, so you can't miss us on Sunday from 2 to 4. But come by and see us. It is listed at $469.9. They just reduced it, so they are ready for an offer and ready to move on to their next chapter in life. So give us a call. We have other listings coming up that we'll be announcing during the fair that people are getting ready to put on the market. And so give us a call there. We have done 3 closings. Yesterday we had 3 closings. And so it's been a very busy July, and we're going into a very busy August. People are starting to really look at putting their house on the market and getting off the fence and purchasing something.
All right.
So give us a call.
615-443-3130.
That's it. And remember, Coleman,
Yes.
you got to call the Realtor of the Year. So remember, don't make a move without us.
We are talking to the Realtor of the Year, who says again,
don't make a move without us, Coleman.
y'all have a great one. See you next
Thank
week.
you.
All right. Miss Judy, Miss Medina, C&D team, Exit Rocky Top Realty, 1330 West Main here in Lebanon. All right. We're about 20 before the hour, and really we've got a special program here for part 2 this morning. And I'm going to introduce John Boyce, who is the leader of the 3 people who are with us today. John, good morning to you.
Coleman, good morning. That is a very loose interpretation of what it is that I do. It's more like herding cats, but we're glad to be here.
Well, it has been announced a good while ago, I guess, that you were going to be the future voice of the Blue Devils, especially when it comes to football. And I don't know where else we go from there. But Tommy Bryan decided it was time to hang it up. And actually, he was my guest. Was it this week or last week one? And of course, it had a great reception for him recently. Over at Cumberland. But Susie announced some time ago you were taking over that position as play-by-play for the Lebanon Blue Devil broadcast, and I guess the broadcast team leader. And some changes have been made, and we're here to talk about that this morning.
We are. There's some changes, but a lot's remaining the same. Donald, how long have you been with the crew before?
This will be my 3rd year.
So you're in your 3rd year. And then, of course, Joe over here has been on the sideline for 17, 18 years. And both these guys know this program inside and out. So I'm really the only new face involved. These guys have just been moved around a little bit. But they've been up there. They've seen this team up close in person for a long time. So while some things are changing, a lot is going to remain the same.
All right. Well, we're glad to have all 3 of you today. And I guess Joe Gardner will say good morning to you and let you talk next. You and Tommy worked together for a long time, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Very long time. And, guys, it's fun to tell my wife this morning that I got to go on the Coleman show because she's here several times. And so it was not her getting up to get ready to come here. But yes, I did. I've been with Tommy and Bob Lee. I was there for 18 years. They asked me to come and join them on the sideline. And so I want to thank John for unlocking the door. They never let me in the press box. They handed me a microphone and said, "Good luck to you." I actually called 2 games over my career in a hurricane system. Thought that would change things, and they just handed me a raincoat. So I do want to thank. I was the new guy for 16 years or 15 years until Donald came, and so Donald tried to get them to unlock the door, but it finally took John to let me in. So we are going to go without a sideline guy this year. It will just be us 3, and just to explain that real quickly, equipment became an issue, not our equipment, everybody else's equipment. When I started, there was not as many signals in the air. And so soon as the game started, you have drones from each team. You have each coach has their headsets. You have other schools that bring their streaming or their radio broadcast. And so with all the metal, as I got to going to away games, my communication became very spotty over the last couple of years. And so, in talking with Susie and making this change, we threw around adding a fourth person. Mm-hmm. And I said, I think right now I will still go down and make sure we have the captains and the officials, and then at the conclusion of the game, I will get the coach's interview and get that back up. And I did that anyway. But there were several times that Bob was unable to be there, or Tommy, that I filled in as the color up there. So I feel very comfortable in doing that.
Well, the two of you have known each other and worked together for quite some time, right?
Joe and I?
Yeah.
Not worked together. We've known each other's names for a long time. For me, it was fun because I sat there in your seat on Friday nights doing the scoreboard show for 15 plus years. And so I hear the name Joe Gardner and Donald Gann. I hear all this stuff. Of course, I've known Tommy and Bob for years. So this will be the first time the three of us have worked together as a team.
Okay, well, let's get Don into the picture here. What are you going to be doing?
I'll be doing the stats. I took over that when Terry retired. Like I said, this will be my third year.
Okay. You don't get to talk as much, do you?
No, I don't get to enjoy the game very much, just to be honest with you.
The stat guy is a very integral, important part of a broadcast, though.
From the kickoff till usually 30 to 45 minutes after the game is over, I'm usually writing. Mm-hmm. I'm noting every play. I'm noting who carried the ball, who threw the ball, what the yard line marker was, first and goal or first and 12. And I miss a whole lot of the game. I depend on these guys, and there's numerous times I've looked at Tommy and Bob and said, who carried the ball? Because I'm still writing and charting the previous play, and I look up, and that play's already started. So it's... I didn't realize when I told him I would take this job what I was taking. Let's just put it that way.
But very important to have somebody to keep up with this so that the whole story is told, right?
And not just for the broadcast. The team uses these stats as well. I mean, it is a huge privilege to be able to have Donald to do these things because a lot of high schools do not have that. I equate it to what a college would have as a sports information director, and those are a up at dawn, up till midnight kind of job. So yeah, but you're right. I always look at it as the statistician is the person that's given the evidence. We can say whatever we want. He can back it up with stats. So there's some evidence there to what we're saying.
All right, time for us to take a break. We've got John Boyce, Joe Gardner, Don Gann with us this morning, the LHS football team here on 98.9, and we'll take a break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
All right, let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota. They'll help you rent the right tool for the job. The Kubota Orange Rental Program makes it easy to rent the right equipment. Stop by Absolute Kubota. Check out the U35 excavator or the SVL 75 compact track loader. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Steady flow and traffic spotted down 65 through Millersville. I-40 has gotten heavier here at Charlotte Pike out on the west side coming through Bellevue. Right on schedule with that volume 24 westbound through Antioch right now at Haywood Lane Bell Road as that traffic continues to build on 24 west leaving Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. Hey, when you need dependable towing for your car, big truck, no matter what county you're in here in Middle Tennessee, call STR Towing and Recovery. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Bank anywhere, anytime with Wilson Bank and Trust. Open an account online today and manage your money with ease. Whether you're checking balances, depositing checks, or paying bills, with our secure digital banking solutions, your finances are always at your fingertips. Get started at wilsonbank.com. Wilson Bank and Trust, here to get you there. Member FDIC.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is in a new location, 1746 West Main in Lebanon, across from Sports Village. Gregory Dental Group offers cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs.
No insurance? No problem. Call about the discount plan. Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322.
All right, we continue here for Friday morning. John Boyce, Joe Gardner, Don Gann are here. The LHS football team. When's the first game?
We kick off August 22nd. We're going to be on the road at Nolensville. Actually, 2 of the first 3 are out on the road. Game 2, first home game will be against the Stars of Siegel. So on the road at Nolensville. We've kind of joked around a little bit. Of course, our first broadcast together is going to be somewhere we're not used to, but I think a lot of that can be fun. I know a lot of athletes like starting out on the road, so kind of not quite as nervous when you're on the road than when you are at home. So maybe that'll work for us as well.
How familiar are you with the football personnel? And you've done a lot of basketball play-by-play, maybe other. How much football have you done before?
Well, from an X's and O's standpoint that we're looking at now, pretty new to that. My experience has been more of a general overview covering all the schools in the county. Joe's, as we were just saying, is our insider. He's the guy. He's at most of the practices. His son is on the team. He really is the guy that knows the personnel really, really well. So I'll defer to him on that because that's still a learning process for me at this time.
Yeah, what can we expect this year? What do you expect? I mean, it's unusual that you'd come here and say, "Oh, I think we're going to win every game." You hope to. That's why you play them and why you try so hard. But what do you think?
Yes, sir. Well, that's how you approach it as a coach. But it's at this point in time, it's building your depth. You know mostly who your starters are for most positions, so you're looking for depth and the right combination. I know when talking with Coach Gentry, as he said, my son is the senior there, and my oldest son graduated 2 years ago, and then I was the head coach at Walter J before that. So I have been at every practice since Gentry has been there. But you know, he's been a little frustrated with the weather, just like every other coach. I said years ago when they decided to build the indoor, people were like, "Well, that's great. You know, you can get in there when it's raining." He said, "Well, that's not what it's for. We have such heat index problems now with the TSSAA. When we played, probably even John, that wasn't such a thing. You carried your water out there, kept a close eye on kids. But now there are strict rules on temperature. And so in years past, we've been able to flex our schedule a little more because it all depends on the kids' working schedule. Some of those kids have summer jobs. And so sometimes you can have early morning practices, but they haven't. And so he's been a little frustrated, not been able to get out as much as he likes. And then any of the showers that we've had have been afternoon showers. And so if lightning strikes within so many miles, it's just like a game. You have to go inside for 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. And when you're in a 2 or 3 hour practice, if lightning strikes again, the 30 minutes starts over. So just like every coach, right now he feels like he's losing time. And it's like we always say, you're never as bad as you think you are or as good as you think you are. But our quarterback will be Austin Harrison. I'll just kind of hit on the quick spots quickly. He's been there for 4 years, and it's his turn to take the reins. A real good kid, played a lot of defense for us. And, you know, we've got a little depth at certain positions where we hadn't had that. Some of our, kids, it's really good contributors. DeJuan Stafford, he'll be on a watch list. He'll be a defensive end. This will be his 3rd year as a starting position. Good-sized kid, 6'3", 6'4", 230, 240 pounds, but he looks the part. And then we've got a lot of young, unproven kids that we've got to get in there. But
what about your son?
My son will be a receiver. His name is Jonah Gardner. He'll be wearing number 5 this year. He has earned every part of it. My oldest son was center, so it's a little different. I played receiver. My son plays as receiver, so I can identify with him. But my oldest son played center there 2 years ago, wore the same number my dad did. My dad was center, graduated in 56. Yeah. I think you're familiar with that. And so it was very odd when I would give the starting lineup to give Gardner at center number 52 55, my mother would listen and say, I've heard that before. So, but now my youngest one, and he'll finish this year as a senior. And my oldest is at Knoxville, and I think he's going to follow him there. But a lot of good kids. I coached a lot of these kids at Walter J. So I feel like I have a lot of kids on this team that I have been around since the 6th grade. So.
Well, Don, I don't know exactly what to ask you. I don't think, statistics are statistics. It's pretty much the same thing, game in and game out. You've got a job to do, and like you said, sometimes you don't even get to watch as much of the game as you would like because of the intensity of keeping all those stats right.
Yeah. Another thing I said when I come in, I had no idea I had to keep the opposing team stats either. And when I come in and they told me that, I'm like, what are you talking about? But no, Coach Gentry wants to know everything the other team did. So I kind of thought that was going to be my break time. If we were on defense, I got to sit back and enjoy it. That don't happen either. But one thing I will say, last year when we went to Oakland, we had 11 sophomores starting.
Well, at least contributing. Yeah.
In a playoff game, and I've learned this over the years. My kids both graduated from Lebanon. I've followed Lebanon. I've listened to Lebanon. I'm 62 years old. I'm a Lebanon guy. I will say this: when I see our roster, and I see the names on our roster, I know virtually every parent or every family that's represented on that roster. When we go to opposing schools, some of these big, powerful schools, those names on those rosters wasn't there last year. Those are transfers in. Those are, you don't want to say NILs like the college, but that's kind of what they are. You got these powerhouse teams around here that have different players every year that wasn't there the year before. I can say that with Lebanon football, with Corey Barrett in basketball, McDowell in basketball. If you go to a Lebanon sporting event, you're going to see Lebanon kids, and you're going to know the Lebanon parents. And we might not go 15-0 and win a state championship, but I'm proud that the players that we do play with are our players, and they're homegrown. And I see that in the names and the numbers. A lot of people don't see that.
Oh, good point. Good point. John, back to you. Would you maybe describe the style of your broadcast? How much football have you done really before?
Not a lot. I am often described as energetic. My wife tells me all the time she'll watch me at home. I watch film like a player or coach does. I go back. What did I do good? What did I do bad? It's usually more bad than good, but she
try to be your own worst critic, maybe.
I try to be. I try not to sugarcoat things for myself, but she'll walk in my little room where I do this, and she's like, "Why are you yelling? Why are you so excited?" I'm like, "You need to leave right now because this is good, But so I would say, I love competition. And I love watching people take a talent and cultivate it for the greater good. And so it really, to me, doesn't matter. I can be watching the cup stacking championships on ESPN 8, and I'm going to get into it because I love seeing, especially young people, you can take that grain of talent and watch the coaching staff and the hard work that the players put in and just watch that thing nurture and then put that into a system where they're learning how to be a team. And seeing the what I've loved the most about sports broadcasting is seeing the evolution from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And I truly do believe that it's not where you start, it's where you end. And whether you're going 15-0 and winning some chips, or if you're going 2-8, the what you can see as the season progresses for me is really a lot of fun. And I want to kind of echo something Donald said as well. Something that was a common thread when it was announced that I was taking this position. I had a lot of people reach out to me and tell me how happy they were that a Lebanon guy was going to be able to stay in the booth. That meant a lot to me, that many people were excited about that. And that shows that it means something to this community, and that there's traditions that they don't want to stray from. And I think that comes from the team itself. And I've gotten to know Chuck a little bit more over the last 3 or 4 months. And one thing I can tell you about him is he's going to do it the right way. He's not gonna cut corners, and he's not going to let players dictate to him how this program's going to go, because he's about the greater good, and he understands that some bad individuals can ruin the whole team, and he's not going to let that happen. And I think he wants to go to war with the guys that are going to go to war with him, not the other way around. So I'm excited to be part of the process, I guess.
Well, we've got a 10-game regular season. So it'd be, is it 5 home games, 5 away?
Yes, sir. It is, with a bye week. Every game this year is on Friday except for the very last one, the day before Halloween. We'll have a Thursday game to close out the regular season, and we'll be gearing up for the postseason at that point. I feel good about that. It's tough for anybody in this region, because you get paired up with those Rutherford County schools, and you look at Oakland. They've won pretty much every championship over the last decade, and before that it was Riverdale. Mm-hmm. Riverdale winning a bunch of championships. So this county hasn't always been paired up like that, but that's the way it is now. So you run into a lot of those Rutherford County schools. But I think in this county alone, you look at Green Hill, they went 10-0 last year in this region. They lost in the first round of the postseason, but they were really, really good. Mount Juliet finishes 9-1, then they win a game in the postseason. So this region alone, just right here in Wilson County alone, top to bottom, I think there's some really, really good football being played.
Well, Joe Gardner, good to have you with us today. We could probably spend the whole time talking with each one of you, but I think you got your share, and we appreciate you being with us. Donald, again, good to have you with us, and keep up the good stat work. John Boyce, our best to you as you plow new ground, so to speak, doing football play-by-play for the Blue Devils, and I know you're going to do a good job on that, just like you do everything else you do.
Thank you, Coleman.
I have to say I'm a fan of John Boyce, and I can prove it by MJ. She and I talked about you yesterday.
Thank you, guys.
Thank all of you for being with us today.
Yes, sir.
That's it for a Friday, and until Monday, I wish you a fantastic day.